Yeah. Big JTV, man. Like, comment, sub, man. Appreciate y'all for coming in, man. I really need y'all to like the content, bro. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of people showing love, but like the content. We're going to talk about some dark things. We're going to talk about some foul things, man. We're going to talk about Fat Joe. And I have a theory, y'all. I have a big theory that I want y'all to stay tuned for at the end. I want y'all to get it also in the comments and let me know y'all thoughts. So this is a TMZ article, came out, I think, on Thursday, about 2 days ago, 19th. It said, Fat Joe sued. You were banging minors. He says claims are bogus, all right? So Fat Joe's former hype man says in new lawsuit he saw the rapper have sex with underage girls who were 15 and 16 years old. But Joe says the allegations are BS. Terrence T.A. Dixon filed a lawsuit Thursday claiming there were at least 2 minor females Fat Joe had sexual relations with and another he allegedly fell in love with. Nasty work. In the docs obtained by TMZ, Dixon's attorney, Tyrone A. Blackburn. Let me remind y'all, who is Tyrone A. Tyrone Blackburn is the individual that has been, I'm saying it right now, he is an ambulance chasing, clout chasing lawyer who's been in a ton of lawsuits going at not only Diddy, going at a ton of people in the hip hop industry, and he actually got reprimanded by a judge a while ago. Let me tell you something, man. I do. He's on that, you know what I mean, Tony Busby swag. You know what I mean? These lawyers that are finding and looking for any and every excuse to get as much bags with bogus and out-of-pocket allegations, I always look at them funny in the light. But, again, doesn't mean that they are lying, or at least the victim, right, is lying either, right? Or even the person sending the allegations. Understand that these are obviously allegations. Let me finish the article. Tyrone Blackburn claims a 16-year-old Dominican girl will perform oral sex and other sex acts on Joe in exchange for cash, clothing, and cell phone payments. Dixon claims Joe started a sexual relationship with a 15-year-old Caucasian girl after meeting at an overseas concert. He says Joe flew her to New York and Miami multiple times and paid for her to get a BBL. Oh my God. Because her body was adolescent and not fully formed. Dixon claimed the girl is now married to a pro athlete. Nasty. So Joe, yo, what the hell? In the suit, Dixon claims Fat Joe was in love with a Latina he met when she was 15 years old. He says Joe paid all the girls' bills, took her overseas for tours, and put her in a condo near where he lived with his wife in Florida, and contemplating leaving his wife for her. Oh. Dixon says Joe has an unhealthy and troubling fixation on underage individuals and raps about it in She's My Mama. Oh, Lord. Joe's ex-hype man also said Joe coerced him into having sex with women after concerts, sometimes in full view of other people, and says Joe underpaid him, denied him songwriting credits, and concealed royalties and back-end payments. Fat Joe's attorney, Joe Tacopino, tells TMZ the lawsuit is a blatant act of retaliation for a civil suit Joe filed against Dixon. Wow. Tacopino says the allegations are lies intended to damage the reputation and force a settlement through public pressure, and he claims law enforcement is aware of what he says are extortionate demands from Dixon. As we first reported, Joe sued Dixon back in April, I didn't know this, for defamation after Dixon allegedly made similar PDF file allegations against Joe on social media. Dixon is going after Fat Joe for damages. Wow. So let me summarize again what this article is saying. It's saying that Joe was dealing with minors. Joe was in love with minors. And this all caused the ex-hype man, you know what I mean, issues with him being in Joe's presence. And, you know, all of this thing is, again, to get money, right? He didn't go to the police about it. This person, T.A. Dixon, he didn't go to anybody. This guy, Terrence Dixon, he went to Tyrone A. Blackburn, which, again, that guy is great at extortion. This is called legalized extortion, y'all. And I'm going to say this again. Legalized extortion. Because a lot of these ambulance chasing lawyers are not looking for true justice. No. True justice will be telling the police on them. But I personally believe this person, TA, is probably from the streets, right? Probably was part of terror squad, right? And because of this, right? And maybe some money frustrations, maybe some issues. Because I'm going to say this. I'm not here to defend Fat Joe because Fat Joe has been known to be a snake and a rat, by the way. Very snakish, very radish. Why is that? When Big Pun passed away, rest in peace to one of the best lyricists in hip-hop, Fat Joe, did not look out for his baby mama or any of his kids. Meaning, he would always show love to Fat Joe in his performances, in interviews, but his words were not matching his actions, right? So Joe has been known to be on some two-face type of ish. Now, would I be surprised that he was touching children? Definitely not. Definitely not. You know why? Because the music industry has a history of this. Not just R. Kelly, not just Diddy. This goes as far back as Elvis Presley, man. Rock and roll stars. Steven Tyler. Going to even comedy. Jerry Seinfeld. All these people were dealing with minors. And let me tell you something. You go back 15 years ago, it was regular for somebody in their 30s to deal with a 15-year-old. Disgusting, gross, nasty work. But I'm sorry, this is the reality of what happens in life. And that's why parents have to really watch their children. Your 15-year-old daughter gets a BBL, you ain't going to ask nothing? Your 15, 16-year-old daughter is out there at a Fat Joe concert and getting flued out, has a cell phone and you ain't paying that. What is going on? Right? And again, I personally blame the parents. Obviously, I blame Fat Joe if this is true. But would I be surprised? Absolutely not. But again, the reason these things get filed, the reason these things come out is because one frustrated individual wants some money. They want some money. And this, again, it goes back to the lawyers. These lawyers realize the power of media. Now that Fat Joe has been blasted as an alleged PDF file, people are going to run with it without no shred of evidence being proven in a court of law. Because now reputation and allegations are bigger than the truth. Another great example of this. We're watching and listening to the Diddy trial. Guess what? There's evidence. There's proof of what Diddy is and what he has done. Now we have a better view of what's going on. Now we can say without a shadow of a doubt, Diddy is guilty and Diddy's going to spend time in jail. It just matters how much time he'll spend in jail. I personally went on the record and said Diddy's going to face probably time served and to get a large probation or probably 3 years. I said that on the record. This, again, in the Fat Joe situation, this looks like an extortion attempt. And why does it look like an extortion attempt? Because the lawyer, this guy Tyrone A. Blackburn, is an extortionist lawyer, ambulance chasing clout, chasing lawyer. And he has put aim at hip-hop individuals in order to make money. He is a Tony Busby light. He's a black Tony Busby. It is what it is. And these people want their names in the articles because let me tell you what I believe. I think they work with TMZ. They work with TMZ. They work with the media in order to grow their brand, grow their name, so they can do another extortion attempt on famous people. Hey, get in the comments, man. Y'all agree with me or not? Is Fat Joe innocent or is he a disgusting PDF who should pay this guy TA for damages? Let me know in the comments, man. I'm out.